Behind the laughter, tears and triumphs in comedians' autobiographies. How to Become a Comedian blogcast series, Aspiring Comedians Checklist. In this blogcast, I'll give an overview of 10 comedians' autobiographies. You'll recognize some of these most influential stand-ups legends. In my previous articles in the Aspiring Comedians Checklist, I've covered stand-up comedy videos to harden your funny bone. Read stand-up comedy blogs to fuel your dreams. Study the styles of comedians to unleash your inner comedian. Watch stand-up shows to ignite your comedy passion. Get your jokeaholic fix, Addict's Guide to Joke Books. Speak like comedians, decoding terms. Part 1. Speak like comedians, decoding terms. Part 2. 10 reasons to be killed by top stand-up assassins. Step-by-step to stand-up comedy, how to become a comedian. Comedy Gold, 7 tips to record your funniest ideas. As you progress through your Aspiring Comedians Checklist, it's time to get to know the real stand-up comedy scene from those who lived it. Next, get into comedians' autobiographies. Autobiography, not a history of cars. There are several genres of books about comedy and comedians. I've chosen in this article to focus on the autobiographies about the lives and careers of those who have done stand-up comedy. I've chosen to omit books by comedians that are funny for the sake of being funny. Also about great comedians in movies and TV and other mediums. And there's nothing about how to do stand-up comedy or the psychology and philosophy of comedians. These are the books that take you into the lives of stand-up comedians. Introduction to comedians' autobiographies. It takes a certain kind of personality to get up on stage and make fun of yourself and others, whether from personal experience or general observation. Stand-up comedians produce valuable and necessary insight into the oftentimes ridiculous moments that comprise a life. Those who succeed at it do not because of pleasant childhoods or positive life choices. Stand-up comedy's legends are exactly that, because they've managed to stare down their dark moments and somehow come out laughing. Here's a checklist of 10 comedians' autobiographies in no particular order that examine the lives and careers, both painful and comic, of some of stand-up's greatest comedians. Born Standing Up by Steve Martin. A lot of comedians dabble in writing, but Steve Martin took it to a whole other level. I mean, he not only kills it on stage, but also slays the writing game like no other. He's churning out plays, novellas, and even children's books like it's just another day at the office. Born Standing Up. It's not just your run-of-the-mill autobiography about some funny guy. Martin takes you on a journey through the crazy world of stand-up comedy in the 1970s. He gives you the inside scoop on his meteoric rise to fame and his almost overnight exit from the scene in 1981. It's like he's pulling back the curtain and letting you peek into this wild, exhilarating world that most people only dream about. How to Talk Dirty and Influence People by Lenny Bruce. This is one comedian's biography you'll want to read. So, you want to know about the life of a comedian. Here's the OG Lenny Bruce. In the swinging 60s, when society was shifting and comedy was becoming more than just a few jokes and a punchline, Lenny Bruce, he was the trailblazer, the guy who took comedy to places it had never been before. Lenny was a satirist, a wordsmith who danced on the edge of what was socially acceptable. He dissected society, poked fun at the establishment, and made people think while they laughed. But boy, did he ruffle some feathers along the way. How to Talk Dirty and Influence People wasn't just an autobiography, it was a manifesto. With the help of his buddy Paul Krasner and a little nudging from Hugh Hefner, Lenny opened a vein on his life, his struggles, and his unapologetic approach to comedy, and it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows unless he was high. Lenny didn't just battle hecklers, he fought against censorship, hypocrisy, police, and the Supreme Court. He talked about things that made polite society asses pucker: sex, drugs, religion, racism, you name it. Some people couldn't get enough, others had had enough. He didn't back down, he kept doing what he did best, speaking his truth no matter the consequences, and he paid the price. His relentless pursuit of free speech landed him in jail and court more times than he could count, but he didn't let it break him. He kept on cracking jokes, making people laugh and making them think. In the end, Lenny Bruce may have left us too soon, but his legacy lives on. He showed us that comedy isn't just about making people laugh. It's about challenging the status quo, pushing boundaries, and speaking truth to power. Bouncing Back, I've Survived Everything, and I Mean Everything by Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers was a force to be reckoned with, not just on the stage, but also on the page. I mean, she's written everything from self-help books to rants about all the things that grind her gears in this crazy world. But it's when she delves into the nitty-gritty of her own life that things get real. Rivers doesn't hold back. She opens up about the struggles she faced in both her professional and personal life. From dealing with the ups and downs of showbiz to the heartbreak of her husband's suicide, she doesn't shy away from the tough topics. But here's the kicker. She tackles it all with her trademark humor. I'm talking about that classic Joan Rivers wit, sharp as a knife and twice as cutting. She's not afraid to laugh at herself, even when the world seems like it's falling apart around her. Prior Convictions and Other Life Sentences by Richard Pryor. Prior Convictions tells you everything you need to know about the guy's mastery of language and humor. With the help of co-writer Todd Gold, Pryor takes us on a wild ride through his life, from his low beginnings in Peoria, Illinois, to the moments that shaped his unique comedic voice. There have been plenty of biographies written about Pryor, but there's something special about hearing it straight from the horse's mouth. In Prior Convictions, he lays it all out there: the good, the bad, and the downright outrageous. He shines a light on the darker moments of his past, even if it means digging up some painful memories. But here's the thing about Pryor. He's never one to take himself too seriously. He approaches his own life story with that irreverent humor that made him a legend in the first place. Sometimes he's brutally honest, sometimes he dances around the truth, but one thing's for sure, he's always entertaining. Ready to try your material in front of a real audience? Join one of our supportive open mic nights and get feedback. Reserve your spot now at gregdeancomedy.com. Love All the People by Bill Hicks. The enigma that was Bill Hicks. Picture this, 10 years after his untimely departure from this world. His book, Love All the People, hits the shelves. But it's not your typical autobiography where he's spilling all the beans about his life. Oh no, Bill Hicks was way too unconventional for that. Instead of a straightforward memoir, Love All the People is like a treasure trove of Hicksiana. We're talking interviews, transcripts of his mind-blowing performances, and snippets of his personal writings, all woven together to create this unique tapestry of his life and unique point of view. It's dripping with that signature Hicksian flavor, his razor-sharp wit, his biting sarcasm, his fearless commentary on society. It's all there, stamped on every page like a big old middle finger to the status quo, like a lampshade in a whorehouse. My Life in Comedy by Phyllis Diller. The incomparable Phyllis Diller. Back in the 1950s, when comedy was mostly a boys' club, she waltzed right in and turned the whole game upside down. Diller wasn't about playing it safe, especially not as a woman in a man's world. Nope, she grabbed life by the horns and made audiences howl with laughter, all while rocking some of the most outrageous stage get-ups you've ever seen. But here's the thing about comedy. It's often born from pain. And behind Diller's larger-than-life persona lies a story of struggle and resilience. In Like a Lampshade in a Whorehouse, Diller and co-writer Richard Buskin peel back the curtain to reveal the darker moments of her life. From growing up in the grip of the Great Depression to facing her own demons, they examine how these experiences shaped Diller's groundbreaking comedy. And it's not all laughs and giggles. Diller's journey is raw, it's real, and it's downright inspiring. She took the pain of her past and transformed it into comedic gold, blazing a trail for generations of funny women to come. Nigger, an autobiography by Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory, a true trailblazer in the world of comedy. Back in the day, performing stand-up for white audiences as an African American was practically unheard of. Gregory didn't just break that barrier, he smashed it to pieces. And his book, Nigger, co-written with Robert Lipsyte, is a groundbreaking work that gives us a glimpse into the mind of a comic who refused to play by the rules. While other black comedians were tiptoeing around racial issues, Gregory charged headfirst into the fray. He didn't give a damn who was in the audience. He spoke his truth, loud and proud. And let me tell you, that took some serious guts. But Gregory wasn't about to water down his message for anyone. He tackled race, politics, and social issues with a boldness and honesty that was downright revolutionary. Gregory doesn't just tell his story, he lays bare the challenges he faced as a black man in America, both on and off the stage. It's a powerful, eye-opening read that forces you to confront some uncomfortable truths about society. It's a testament to the power of comedy to challenge, provoke, and inspire change. It's Not Easy Being Me. A Lifetime of No Respect But Plenty of Sex and Drugs by Rodney Dangerfield. In his autobiography, Dangerfield doesn't hold back. He takes us on a wild journey from his humble beginnings to his eventual rise as a comedy legend. Along the way, we get a backstage pass to the gritty reality of showbiz, the hilarious gag writing sessions, the drugs, the hookers, the lousy day jobs. Against all odds, he transformed himself from a debt-ridden aluminum siding salesman named Jack Roy into a multimedia superstar, and he did it with his trademark catchphrase, "I get no respect." Dangerfield drops names like Adam Sandler, Sam Kinison, Jim Carrey, and Johnny Carson, giving us a peek behind the curtain of Hollywood stardom. But despite his fame, he never lost touch with his roots. He's still the same Rodney, the same guy who worked the tough joints and fought tooth and nail for his shot at the big time. Milton Berle, an autobiography by Milton Berle. In his landmark autobiography, Berle pulls back the curtain on his incredible life journey, revealing the highs, lows, scandals, and triumphs that shaped his legendary career. From his early days as a child performer in vaudeville to rubbing elbows with icons like Charlie Chaplin and Mary Pickford in silent movies, Burley's rise to stardom was nothing short of meteoric. He entertained Al Capone in nightclubs, kept spirits high on the radio during World War II, dazzled audiences on Broadway, and ultimately conquered television with his larger-than-life persona as Uncle Milty. But behind the glitz and glamour lurked a scandal-ridden private life. Burl reveals the truth about his star-crossed romance with a 1930s movie queen, the secret child they had together, and his numerous affairs with women, ranging from evangelist Amy Semple McPherson to the iconic Marilyn Monroe. Equal parts comedy and pathos, Burl's memoir is a captivating journey through the golden age of showbiz, featuring colorful appearances by all the major stars of his era. Last Words by George Carlin. Even in death, this guy's still cracking us up. Case in point, his posthumously published autobiography, Last Words, co-written by his buddy Tony Hendra. Carlin dove headfirst into the uncomfortable, and Last Words is no exception. This book takes us on a wild ride through Carlin's life, starting all the way back in Rockaway Beach, New York. From his early struggles in the world of stand-up comedy to his groundbreaking Supreme Court case on obscenity, Carlin lays it all out there. He doesn't just talk about the highs, he digs deep into the lows, the struggles, and the moments that shaped him into the comedy legend we all know and love. Sure, Last Words may have been published 2 years after Carlin's death, but it's like he's right there with you, cracking jokes and dropping truth bombs left and right. Coming soon. In my next blogcast, Aspiring Comedians Checklist, Unfiltered Laughter. Inside the stories of stand-up comedy biographies, I'll cover the books written about the icons who shaped American stand-up comedy. Laughter is contagious, pass it on.